Baby, can you make us a cheesecake?
Sure, girls. Oreo cheesecake. Let's get cooking. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Fat Boy Cooking with your host Bailey, aka Mr. Fat Boy himself. And I want to say happy belated Thanksgiving to all my friends and family here in the United States of America. This episode is going to be a little bit different. Over Thanksgiving break, I decided to head down to Tennessee and join some family for Thanksgiving, and I recorded a video. My little cousin Ava, she really wanted me to make her a cake while I was down there, and when I asked her what kind of cake she wanted, she said, "Bailey, can you make me an Oreo cheesecake?" And I was like, "Sure, Ava, let's make you an Oreo cheesecake." So let's get right into the video. Alright, so the ingredients for this cheesecake are going to be broken down into two separate categories, one being the crust. So for the crust, 28 Oreo cookies. These are going to be pulverized, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which is melted, as you can see here on the screen. And then for the batter, 2 pounds cream cheese, 8 ounces of sour cream, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 5 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 18 more Oreos, just kind of roughly chopped. So we're going to get started with the crust. What I'm doing here is adding Oreos directly into a food processor. And then with the turn of the handy dandy knob, we're going to pulverize those cookies until they have the texture of almost like sand. With the food processor still running, we're going to slowly add in our melted butter. Now that our butter and cookies are combined, it's time to dump them out into a springform pan. And as you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting them out here, so all I did was take a spoon and just scrape them in, kind of flatten it out once you're done. And then using this glass, what I'm doing is trying to create a nice even layer across the bottom and also build up a little bit of crust on the side of the pan. Once this is done, we're going to put it into an oven at 350 and bake for 10 minutes. Alright, now that the crust is baking, it is time to make the batter. So into a stand mixer goes 2 pounds of cream cheese. And then at a medium-high speed, we're going to let that cream together for about 3 minutes. About halfway through, stop it and scrape down the sides, and then continue to mix. After it's all creamy, we're going to add in our sugar. And then scoop in the sour cream. And then we're going to mix this at a medium-low speed for about 30 seconds to a minute, just until it's nice and combined. And then scrape down the sides of the bowl and mix again for about another 10 seconds. Now it's time to add in the eggs. And then we add in the vanilla. Now we put this to mix on low speed for about a minute. And then make sure you scrape the bowl halfway through the process. While that was mixing, I used my big old meaty claws to crush some Oreos in a plastic bag. Add them back into the mixing bowl and mix on a low speed for about 30 seconds or until well combined. Additionally, you could fold these in by hand if you really wanted to. And now that our crust is cool, we're going to wrap it with about 4 sheets of aluminum foil just to kind of create a nice insulating barrier around the pan. Place the pan onto a baking sheet and add about 1.5 inches of very hot water, and then boom, you add in your filling because you forgot to press record. Now it's time to move it all into the oven at 350 and let it bake for about an hour. After an hour, check it. It should have a nice little jiggle, kind of like that. The most important step here, turn that heat off and let it sit in there for about an hour. Do not open the door. This is very crucial. So after it was taken out of the oven and allowed to cool, it is time to cut into this bad boy. Now, please excuse my terrible cut job. I had to make some smaller pieces for the girls. So onto a plate goes that nice slice of cheesecake, followed by a nice little dollop of whipped cream and 1 little Oreo on top. So that right there is how you make the most delectable, delicious, phantasmic Oreo cheesecake. Now I wish I had a piece here in front of me to kind of like spin around and show you guys, but that was a few days ago, and unfortunately I'm back home. But I do promise you will enjoy it. But what I need you to do right now is hit that like button, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, and happy dance. I'll see you on the next one.